there is no information about this course anywhere, because when I was researching about this course, I only had the subjects in mind. I only had the subjects that the curriculum had. In Mumbai, if it rains, the local stops. So here, if it snows a lot, the subway stops.
Hi Nikunj, welcome to the Yocket Connect series. It's great to have you on board today. I just would like to begin this interview understanding your background. So I want to know what course are you pursuing in Canada right now, and before that, which course were you pursuing? Do you have any work experience? So just want to understand what are the details of your background.
Okay, hi, Shaunak. It's a pleasure joining here. So, starting with what course I'm doing here, I'm doing a brand management PGDM course from Seneca. And before that, back in India, I have completed my graduation in business management studies. I had specialization in marketing. And after that, I was quite dicey in what to do, because I had this pressure of giving CAT. Also, my a lot of my peers were giving CAT, so that's also peer pressure that builds in. But I always wanted to go beyond something that is not quite normal, and that's not quite a lot of people are doing. So that's when I thought of let's try somewhere else and let's try. So that's when I came across this course of brand management, which had brand strategy and advertising, which are the two subjects that I liked in particular, and that's why I took this course. So yeah, till now it's like this is how it started.
Well, that's amazing. You mentioned that you were also preparing for CAT. So, what how was that transition from preparing for CAT to deciding to study abroad? What was the thought that made you do so, or anything that happened that influenced your decision?
So what happened in 2019, I completed my graduation, and after which I was doing an internship at I was doing an internship at a language institute, wherein I was not happy with how the things were working, because I had, imagine after your graduation, you imagine you'll get a placement, good placement, you'll work there, and then after 2 3 years of experience, you'll have a stable job, and then you'll go forward with it. So I had something like that. I had imagined myself like that only, but it didn't quite turn that. I was preparing for my CAT because wasn't happy with my job. But while preparing for the CAT, I always knew back in my head that this is not something that I want to do, and MBA is not something that I want to go forward with. CAT was quite very tough. That gave me a reality check that this is not something you can just do by YouTube. So that's when I started looking for, if not MBA, then what? So I started looking for other entrance exams like IELTS, and I started looking for what are the courses abroad there. I guess COVID did give everyone a check ahead that this is the time you need to plan about.
All right, that is very interesting. Was Canada your first choice for this course, or you had also considered other countries? I asked this because you mentioned you also, you have learned Spanish as well, and Spanish could have given you an advantage in the US. So, what was the other countries that you had considered apart from Canada, or was Canada your only choice?
Yes. So actually, Canada was my last preference. Initially, when I was thinking about studying abroad, my first preference was UK actually, because I then wanted to move into the Spanish countries, there's like Spain only. So I wanted to move there that side, and Europe was something I wanted to get into. But then when you start analyzing when you start looking at your courses, when because that was my priority, a good course was my priority. So when I started looking into what are the good courses there, and what's the future like there, I also had a word with a few of my friends who are in UK. Few my cousin is in US, so I had a word with him as well regarding US. So I had these aspects of language was one thing because I knew Spanish, but there were other things as well, because this COVID situation was there. I was quite unstable of what can happen next. So I just wanted to be quite safe and secure. So after all the decision and doing the qualitative analysis of what all courses and stuff, Canada was the number one choice then I had to make. But I'm quite happy that I made that choice. So it all turns out to be good at the end.
Now talking about Canada, we have some really good colleges in Canada, be it Humber, Seneca, Centennial, George Brown, sorry. So how did you decide between all these colleges? How did you choose Seneca over others? Could you also share some factors that you considered for this choice?
So mainly it was course. I had applied for brand management here because in Radio Mirchi I was doing account planning and I was an intern supporting that brand solution. Then this was something a creative field I always wanted to get into, and I also wanted to get a global perspective of what it is abroad and not just in India.
Right.
Because advertising and these aspects are quite very different in India now that I'm studying from here. And so course was one thing. I selected the course which are in my interest. So Seneca's course was brand management, which I liked. Another course from Humber was advertising and account management. There was another course advertising and media management. Even in Centennial, there was the same courses like this. George Brown was quite very technical, so I didn't apply at George Brown, but I did apply at Fanshawe. Again, it was a marketing management course. So I applied in these courses which are my interest, and also learning about something new was my priority because a lot of courses had similar subjects, which might it'll be I'm just investing my money and learning the same thing. So I wanted to learn something different. So I looked at the subjects, which quite helped me in developing my skills. So that's when, and also for Seneca, I actually got Fanshawe first. I also got Lambton offer letter, but Seneca was my priority mainly for brand strategy and brand metrics because there's something that's quite developing nowadays, and I'm quite happy that I chose that course.
That brings me to another question, which is this was an 8-month course, right? The one that you're posing right now. And do you intend to do any other course as well after this?
Yes, I am thinking to do another course, and also I would highlight a point that thanks to my professors now that I'm interacting with, because they are linked to what's going on here in Canada in the industry that we want to work in ahead. So they only tell us that you should also have an additional certification, maybe you should have an additional degree, maybe in something like this. You should learn this in detail, because now we have a subject called digital marketing, but the professor has told us that the world is going digital now. You need to have, like, marketing won't be enough for someone who is looking for a career in marketing, because marketing is like quite a broader term and you need to find a niche.
Right.
If brand management or brand strategist is a niche, that's quite good, but in future he suggested us to do a digital marketing course.
Right.
So next course that I'm pursuing, I thought of keeping a digital niche only. So I am pursuing from York University. Fortunately, I got the offer letter from them. So I'm doing a digital and content marketing course from York.
So Nikunj, I have another question over here. What are the various ways in which marketing students can find co-op opportunities or internships or full-time jobs in Canada?
So I believe that co-op is quite a dicey thing as well, because it can go in your favor, it cannot go in your favor as well. Because if you have an optional co-op, that's good. I would recommend optional co-op is a great choice, because when coming into Canada, you then have an overview about what the industry is like. Do you want to work here? Do you not want to work here? Because it's also on personal basis as well. So I have an optional co-op in my course. For that also, to be eligible for that, you need to have a CGPA about 3 pointers out of 4. So after that, college helps you in finding the co-op jobs. A lot of times you also have to go and look for the jobs, because college doesn't guarantee that they will give a job, but they help you in building your resume, building your skills, giving you the certifications that you require, that will stand out, they'll make you stand out and compared to other candidates. Also, how to apply, I would say Indeed is something that's quite very active here, because I've applied quite a few jobs now on Indeed, and they have been following up with me. I've done interviews for them, and it's going in a smooth process. Also, one thing I have noticed here is you need to make that initiative from your end to also text to the HR on LinkedIn. Maybe have a connection with them, maybe write a cover letter. Nice cover letter would be important, because back in India I never wrote a cover letter for a job, but here cover letter may helps you stand out from other candidates, and that will help you. So Seneca has one session every week for building your resume, building your communication skills on it. So if you have a co-op, the college also might give some resources that might help you land a job. But again, only if you have an optional co-op, that's quite good. Because if you have a compulsory co-op, a lot of times you also have to work for free. A lot of times you also have to do, if you don't find a co-op, if you don't find an internship, you might not get your degree as well. So you might have to wait until you find your co-op, complete your co-op, and then only you can get your degree.
So which course are you pursuing in Seneca right now, and how has your experience been so far?
So that's a very important question, because there is no information about this course anywhere. Because when I was researching about this course, I only had the subjects in mind. I only had the subjects that the curriculum had. So I was searching on YouTube, on everywhere, about what is brand management. So my course is brand management. I was searching about what is brand management. Is it about the brand solutions, client servicing? Is it about branding? Because the subjects are advertising, interactive management. The subjects are quite interesting. So I didn't get anything when I was searching for this. But now that you have asked me, I would say that this course is quite very combination of technical and qualitative knowledge that you can get about brand, about be it any brand. It's not particular towards an industry. It's not particular towards an agency perspective or from a company perspective. It gives you an experience for both. So there are 2 semesters in this. It's just a 1-year course. There are 2 semesters in this, and for the first semester we have the main subjects in this case is brand strategy and brand metrics. So we have part 1, part 2 divided in both. And brand metrics is something that I have, that's something new. I was struggling with it initially, but again, it was my hustle only to learn something new. So now I'm learning and I'm being better at it. So it's quite new. It's all about how financially your business decisions, how financially and quantitative wise your analysis and your marketing skills you are using, just to get something, assurance from a quantitative side. It's something
Right.
about that. The professors, like from the faculty to the Seneca library. I've also visited to the Seneca campus, though the course is online, but I went to the campus, and that's also quite very helpful when you go there. All the resources that they have to study are quite amazing. The another thing is that they are quite active on social media, that gives students a nice look at what the college is doing. So what they do is they every week they share this. So here in Canada, if you want to do a part-time job that's quite very professional, you need to have a license for that. Suppose a lot of people do here security course, so they want the security guard job, because that's a good pay. So they need to have the security license. A lot of people work at restaurants, so they need to have smart serve license. So these are all licenses that the students require. Seneca gives it on discount, like half the price. So they post this on social media, through which students can click on this and enter their Seneca ID, and they can get it on discount, because otherwise it might be charging a lot if they go outside and buy it. But that's a good thing that Seneca does, and I haven't seen other colleges doing it. So they also have on-campus job for digital content creators to greeters only. So that's also quite something. If people are open to it, it's a good thing for them to learn, and it's also a good scope for them to get part-time jobs easily.